Hi, this is Mr. Kier. I'm the STEAM teacher at Biz this year. I see grades kindergarten through fourth grade. I also do see the pre-K kids too. I'm really excited for how this year's been going so far. At first, I was a little bit nervous because when I think of STEAM, I think of hands-on materials, everybody getting together in small groups, working together, solve problems, and kind of figure out new ways to attack different ideas and problems that way. And this year we have to get a little more creative, but we're all going to stay positive. Instead of being in small groups together, we're in one big group, socially distanced. It poses a new challenge, but I want STEAM to be a fun time where the kids can get some hands-on learning. We do a lot of videos, like short clips, and then we break out and talk about what we saw or what we're learning about. I try to make sure that the materials that I have, like everybody can have their own, as opposed to sharing. That way we just keep everything a little more sanitary and not have to worry about germs or anything like that. I do travel to rooms on a cart. This is on the harvest party day, but I've got my laptop, old school projector, I have a Bluetooth speaker hooked up, plenty of disinfecting wipes and spray there. The materials that I have on there I try to switch out. I try to have a cart for the morning for my morning classes and a cart for the afternoon. Recently in November, we went outside when it got really warm. So I kind of took that opportunity to kind of throw an audible there and let's go out, let's review. We brought some lap boards out with us. And since we've had so many kids kind of coming and going, this was a great way to kind of regroup and catch everybody up with what we've been talking about in STEAM. And we went on the old nature trail behind Biz, and we talked about decomposers and fungi, and we went on kind of like a scavenger hunt and looked for those kinds of things. It was just a great day, exhausting day, taking kindergarten through fourth grade out on different days of the week, but I can tell they really liked it, and so did I. So if it's nice out, I'd like to try and do that more often, kind of get outside and just get out of the classroom and bring our learning out in the fresh air, maybe even the cold air too. At the beginning of the year, we did different cup building challenges. Kids got to explore different ways through engineering that they could build the cups. It was a great way to get to know one another at the beginning. In kindergarten, we've been talking about we played sound bingo for one of them. When it was a nice day, we went outside. Went on a mini version of our nature trail behind Biz. We made cloud dough in class. A lot of times I'll practice it at home with my kids first. All the supplies were done and brought and created on the cart at school. And I didn't get a chance to take my phone out during those particular lessons, but this is kind of what it looked like. And the kids did get to bring some back home. Hopefully it didn't get rubbed in the carpet or anything. We also did some cup stacking, and they used an ice cream popper to kind of pop and knock down their cup towers to see how strong or weak they could be, find the weak spots. We've been talking about solid in first grade. We've been learning how to use hand lenses. We got outside and learned how to use the hand lens. We talked about reflection. That was. Again, I like to practice some of my experiments at home too. Here's where we're learning about how a gas completely fills a container where a liquid could just fill it partly. Around Halloween time, I like to do some more festive ideas along with STEAM class, and we made our own skull masks and talked about like why the skull is so important, what it would be like if you didn't have one. In second the year with some toothpick structures, the kids thought it would be super easy. And I think they were all very surprised at how long it actually did take them, or how challenging it was to build them just with Play-Doh and toothpicks. And I gave them as many toothpicks as they wanted, but they only had a certain amount of Play-Doh that they could use. And that was a tricky factor to be involved with that building. And again, I like to try it with my kids at home first. I always forget to bring a camera sometimes or use my phone while toothpicks are everywhere and Play-Doh. We've been doing also heat, light, and sound experiments. We made some old school with the cup and string. I had them race a flashlight to see if they could be faster than light. We did a Halloween themed activity where they kind of did a guided drawing almost, where they learned about what if you didn't have all the bones in your hand and what that would look like and how your fingers can move. This was a water experiment where we talked about the molecules in the water and how they move when they're in hot water versus cold water. We even had a jar for just regular room temperature water. They could watch the food dye and how it would move really fast with those fast moving molecules in the hot water, and how it moved much slower. Third grade, we started out the year with some card towers, and this was a really fun activity where they had as many cards as they wanted, but it had to support 2 plastic animals at the very top. So they could get their tower really high, but when you add that added weight to it, that's what made it more challenging. And I was accused of knocking some kids' towers down, but that's totally false. Totally false. In third grade, we also created different kinds of planes and talked about the different forces involved. We started out building different kinds of airplanes. This is a Dart airplane here. And then we moved on to the more familiar paper airplane building, and that way I want to try different ways so they could learn different ways to fold an airplane. And with this unit, we also talked about recycling, and we took some recycled materials and we added weight to them. We added different flaps to talk about drag, and we mentioned what thrust was as far as that energy to throw it and how lift keeps it in the air. We are in the middle of an electricity unit in third grade. First, we did a very crude drawing of what a circuit would be. Later, we're going to learn the symbols that would be in a real schematic, like the battery symbol will look a little bit different, the bulb, so on and so forth. But they're learning about how circuits go in a closed path around. And very recently, we've experimented with graphite in special drawing art pencils, where graphite is a conductor. It's definitely not the best conductor, but by shading on a piece of paper, we were able to get the kids to light up their LED bulb with a 9-volt battery there. We talked about the positive terminal and the negative terminal and how they have to be touching charcoal parts. This was a more challenging version with the bus, because it had to go all the way around. So not everybody got it. And I told them sometimes STEAM is about the struggle, and to keep a positive attitude and keep trying. Like I'd help them, but I wouldn't give them the answer or do it for them. We also went on the big trail in third grade. We went on a longer version, and there's some of the decomposing see here. Fourth grade, we started out the year with a pipe cleaner tower challenge. That was extremely hard because when you think about a pipe cleaner, not very strong at all. So they had to wrap it around and figure out ways to have it support itself. We talked a lot about inertia, some of Newton's law, and right here I have a quick video that I did at home with the boys about how all objects have inertia, but depending on the amount in the container, it'll fall or stay up. We made an inertia hat out of Play-Doh and an old coat hanger. That worked pretty well. It took a long time to make. Here's some more nature trail pics that we had. So we have a lot more fun stuff coming up. I'm excited. Hopefully we can get outside some more. I think a lot of learning is really better when they can get out in the fresh air, and those are the memories that they'll have. Like they'll remember going outside not necessarily just sitting at their desk all day. So I want STEAM to be a fun time that they look forward to. They can learn something new, get their hands a little bit dirty, but at the same time, still remaining socially distanced and kind of taking those precautions very seriously. I'm looking forward to the great rest of the year, and thank you so much, guys, for watching.